welcome to my channel, Bursts of Sunshine. I'm Ashley. Today we are doing even more Christmas DIY projects. I'm so excited to show these to you today. I have been absolutely loving crafting this Christmas and making all the cutest little things. So today I'm gonna show you some super cute Christmas DIYs. If you want to see how I made some of these other cute DIYs that you see behind me, go ahead and check out my channel. I have the videos already posted. I'm super excited to show you these DIYs, so let's just get into them. Let's go.
For our first craft DIY, we have this cute little gingerbread hanger decoration piece. I got this little bottle cap looking metal sign from the Dollar Tree, and we're gonna paint it to look like a cute little gingerbread face. So I have this apple barrel paint. It's just cheap paint from Walmart in the color of chestnut. I was originally going to do like a swirly look to it, but I kind of changed my mind and decided I was just going to do a circle for the face, and I was just going to decorate with the little swirly look. So now I'm going to take some white paint once my brown has dried, and I'm just adding that little swirl. Mine definitely was not perfect. It's not even, but it's okay because these handmade crafts can be a little bit imperfect. So now I'm gonna make the eyeballs because it's time to start the face. My paint pen was giving me some issues. The paint did not want to work. It just needs to be thrown in the trash. It's pretty old. So I just decided to take a paintbrush and some black acrylic paint and just hand paint it on. Guys, I'm no artist. I cannot paint. So I was just winging this. I decided to go ahead and add a mouth and start adding on little details while I was already painting. I was just kind of winging this, guys. I looked at some inspiration pictures off of like Google and off of Pinterest, just kind of to give me an inspiration of what kind of gingerbread I was going for. But for the most part, I was mostly just winging this whole process. I did take some red to give it a little red like button nose. It does take a couple coats of the red on this brown. I also took red and done some cheeks. I thought the cheeks just needed to be a little bit softer and a little more blended out. So I did just put some paint on, and then I just dabbed it with my finger to kind of spread it out and to lighten up the paint and kind of give it a more smeared, blushed look. I used the red also to paint the tongue of my cute little gingerbread man. Again, sometimes the red takes a couple of coats. I did, I believe, 2 coats on the nose and on the tongue. Now I decided it needed some highlights, so I took some white paint and a little thin brush, and I just started adding little details to the eyes and the nose and the tongue and just all over this cute little face, just to give it a little something extra so it's not just flat and one-dimensional. I thought it could use just a little more details. Sorry if you can hear my daughter in the background behind me talking. She is playing a game and she is talking about cupcakes. So yeah. I also decided to take my little brush and just add little dots all the way around. This was just, at this point, me just randomly adding details just to kind of make it a little cuter and just a little more intricate. You can add a little bow and make this a girl gingerbread man, woman, or you could totally add a bow tie. That would be cute as well. I didn't think of it when I was making it, but now the idea has hit me. A bow or a bow tie would have been super cute with ribbon. I'm going to take some Mod Podge and I'm going to seal this in just to make sure that it doesn't scratch or peel, because sometimes acrylic paint, you know, can be kind of cheap made. So here's where I realized I didn't pay attention to where the holes in the top of my bottle cap was when I started painting the face. Luckily, one of the holes aligned with the top of the face, so I used that to tie my string in, but there is 2 holes originally on this, so keep that in mind when you're painting this, to make sure you're painting the face in the right direction where it will line up with your holes. I totally forgot about it until it was too late. Luckily, it worked out. Our next craft is going to be this large hot cocoa. This is for decorative purposes and it is so cute. First, I'm going to take a Halloween bucket. You can use any kind of bucket or bowl you want. I just got this one on sale after Halloween, and I thought it would be super cute to make a large hot cocoa. I'm going to spray paint this red, but I have to say, do not use the spray paint I'm using. I would not suggest it. It was not the best spray paint. So now I'm just going to take some white acrylic paint and just a random paintbrush that I had that's a little bit on the stiff side, and we're going to use this to add some speckles onto our mug. I don't know if you guys have ever seen those little speckled coffee mugs, but I have multiple of them and they're super cute. I would have to advise not to get too close or you'll get the line splatters like I got. You need to kind of stay kind of back if you want it to just look speckled. I did that all around my bucket, and then I'm going to let that dry so we can move on to the next step. Next, we're going to start working on our hot cocoa for the top. I have a piece of foam board here that I've used for many projects, and I'm going to use it yet again. I'm going to just trace out the lid and cut it out with like a hobby knife or an X-Acto knife. You will have to trim this down some. This was just kind of my base circle. Then I'm just going to go in and trim it until it fits down into my bucket like it will be the liquid for the hot cocoa. There's Rosie talking, guys. Now that I have my little circle cut out to fit inside of my big mug, I'm going to use some brown felt that I just got really cheap at Walmart. I'm going to hold my foam board up to my felt just to cut it out. I'm just going to do like a little rough cut out. I'm going to go ahead and glue my little foam piece to it. I'm going to go in now and do a little more of a clean cut now that it is glued on, and it will hold it in place. I'm going to stuff my mug with just some plastic bags just to kind of fill it up and to hold up my chocolate. You could totally glue this little hot chocolate foam piece in, but mine wedged right in perfectly that I didn't have to do that. I have these little fake marshmallows. I don't actually know where these came from because my mother gave them to me that she had found. So I'm going to just use a pack of these and some hot glue, and I'm just going to glue these all randomly. I literally just poured them out and then just glued them however they landed because, you know, marshmallows in a hot cocoa, they're kind of random. They're never like perfect. So I thought that would be cute just to glue them however they fell. So now we need a handle for our mug, and I have this candy cane that I got at the Dollar General for $1. I'm just going to use these little miter shear things, and I'm just going to cut off just the hook part. But then I decided before I glued the handle on, I needed to go ahead and apply the words because I don't want to move it too much once I get the handle on. So I did just make these words on my Cricut that say hot cocoa. It's just a very simple decal. I will include it in the description below, a link to the image on my Pinterest account. But you can pretty much make any font or even add any decal you want. This was just kind of to give it the idea that it was hot cocoa. I did want to go hot cocoa theme and not necessarily Christmas theme, so that way this could sit out all winter long. So now using just some hot glue, I'm going to glue down my little peppermint handle. Since this is just for decor, it doesn't necessarily have to be super duper sturdy. It's not like you're going to be picking it up by the handle. So I glued this on. I held it there until it completely dried. And then I added some more additional glue to make sure it held on really well. And then your hot cocoa is complete. This is super cute. It's the perfect big hot cocoa to set out on display or to use for pictures even. I really loved how this turned out. It is just so cute. This next project is a little out there, but this is the North Pole. Yes, I'm using a plunger. Yes, it is new. I bought this at the Dollar Tree for $1.25. It is brand new. It has not touched a toilet. We are going to turn it into a North Pole. First thing I'm going to do is take it apart, and I'm going to spray paint the base white. Once that is painted, we are going to be adding some fake snow to make it look like the snowy ground at the bottom of the pole. Once my paint is dry, I'm going to add a little bit of Mod Podge clear acrylic sealer. This is kind of just going to hold it on like glue. I'm going to use my little fake snow, and as you guys have seen in some of my previous videos, I like to put this in a Parmesan container with a little spoon. It's obviously an empty Parmesan container, but it's a good way to store this fake snow. I'm going to sprinkle it all over this, let it dry, and then I'm going to dust off the excess snow. I went back over it again with some acrylic sealer because I don't want this snow like flaking off all over my house. So now we're going to move on to the actual North Pole. I have the stick of my plunger, and I have a pool noodle. I'm going to account for the fact that I plan to stick an ornament on the top. So I'm going to cut my noodle out to the length of my pole plus the little head of the ornament. Is that called a head? I don't know what that's called. The little top part. As you can see, when I put the pool noodle over the plunger stick, there is still a gap at the top, a place for me to stick my little ornament in, as it will sit on the top of the North Pole. So make sure you leave a little gap there. Now that that is done, I'm just going to take some red duct tape that I got at the Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to make a candy cane looking design on this white pool noodle. I got this white pool noodle at the Dollar Tree, guys, by the way. I forgot to mention that. You can get a different color and probably paint it, but I did not want to go through all of those steps. So I just bought it white, and I'm just going to use red duct tape to do the stripe. I wrapped that all around. It's not perfect, but it's good enough. I'm going to trim off the excess piece of tape. And now we have our beautiful candy cane looking stick for our North Pole. So I went ahead and I added the top stick of my plunger back onto the base. This is what it is looking like. I added some hot glue just to, secure it because we don't want it to go anywhere. We want it to kind of stay in place. And then I pushed the pool noodle on top of it and pushed it all the way down. So now I'm going to take some leftover peppermint stick from that big candy cane that I cut for my big hot cocoa, and I'm just going to cut a hole in my noodle and glue that in to be the little stick that hangs out and holds our North Pole sign. I got this sign at the Family Dollar for $1.25, but the Dollar Tree should also sell them as well. Mine just didn't have any in stock. So I did go to the Family Dollar since they are owned by like the same company. So I figured they would have them, and they did. I'm just going to paint this with some red acrylic paint. This is just, again, the cheap apple barrel paint, but you can paint this with whatever kind of paint you would like. And I'm just going to add a decal to this. I decided to first cover it with a little coat of Mod Podge, just so my decal has something to adhere to, because sometimes the vinyl decals don't want to stick to the wood really well. I lost the footage of me attaching this decal, but I will include the link to it in the description below. The one I made didn't quite perfectly fit, so I did have to trim the box of it. So now I'm taking this gift wrap twine that I got at Walmart, and I'm just going to string a loop through each of the holes of my sign. So there's going to be 2 different string loops to hold it up. Once I hung the sign, it made my whole North Pole topple over. So I had to go back and repair this problem, guys, because I don't want you guys to have the same problem. I cut out a piece of foam board to be the base, and I glued some rocks that I got out of my front yard into the inside. I used hot glue and E6000 so it would be sturdy. I glued it down into the base of this foam board, and this is kind of going to weight down our North Pole, and it's also going to give a cleaner look to the bottom of it. So like win-win. Add a little glue to the top of the rock. The reason I only put 1 rock is because I was also hoping it would keep it from tilting. So I'm going to use it to balance the weight as well. So I added some glue around the edge of the foam as well as on the rock, and then I pressed my plunger down onto it. Now, because it's a plunger and it's cheap, some of the sides kind of bowed up a little bit. So I just added a bunch of glue in to fill all of the gaps. Now it's time to move on to the ornament on the top of our North Pole. I have this little clear ornament that I got at the Dollar Tree for $1.25. I'm just watering down some Mod Podge. I wouldn't advise using this because it didn't stick super well. I've heard that you can use like mop and glow type stuff to, you know, glitter ornaments and things. But at the time, this is what I had, so I gave it a try. I just decided to put some fake snow in to kind of tie in the fake snow at the bottom of the North Pole. But again, the Mod Podge didn't stick it really well. Some of the places stuck real good, some of the places didn't stick at all, some of it has big clumps. So I would not advise the Mod Podge method. It did work, however, it's just not the greatest. As you can see, we would stick this in the top of the pole, and now we have our North Pole basically built. I did not glue mine in, you totally can, but I wanted to leave mine unglued so I have the option if I decide later to add some twinkly lights inside of the ball. I have that option. So now I have hot glue gun, our North Pole sign with some strings, and this little foam glitter ball that came out of a big pack I got at the Dollar Tree that is face filler. I decided to glue this on the end of my little peppermint stick just to kind of give it a more finished, complete look, you know, so you don't have that big rough edge of the peppermint stick. It kind of just made it look a little more complete. Now I'm going to slide my North Pole sign onto my peppermint stick. I'm struggling because I was trying to not get into the camera frame in my Ninja Turtle shirt. So yeah. So I hung that onto my peppermint stick. It did kind of lean the peppermint stick down a little bit, but it still turned out super cute and it's fine. I added a little hot glue under each piece of ribbon so that they're glued in place on the peppermint stick and do not slide or move because I didn't want it to like shift. That's pretty much all you have to do, and this is like a super cute North Pole. I know that seemed a little complicated, but it turns out so super cute, and I really, really loved how this one came out. It's just a little different, and I thought it was fun. Our next DIY is going to be a fake Christmas pie. If you guys seen my fall video, you've seen I did a fall pie. I used this little pan that I got at the Dollar Tree. I didn't attach it last time so I could reuse the pan, and here it is. I'm reusing it again to make me a Christmas pie. I'm using a foam round that I got at the Dollar Tree, just like in the fall pie, and I'm just going to cut it down to fit down into my pie pan. I just used a box cutter for this, but any hobby knife would do. Once this is the size that you need it to be to fit down in the pan, it's time to decorate it. I like to use this lightweight spackle. I get it in a big tub at Lowe's, pretty cheap. I used these disposable bags that I got from the Dollar Tree and a 1M star tip to give it that pretty whipped topping look. Now I couldn't decide what kind of pie really screamed Christmas to me, so I decided I'm just going to make a whipped cream pie and add some Christmas decorations to it. So I just used this spackle and just piped a bunch of little star looking things all over it. I thought it looked cute. It looks tasty, like a big mound of whipped cream. And now I'm going to festive it up by adding some little Christmas decorations. So I added a big peppermint. It kind of matches the hot cocoa that we made in the other DIY video. And I also am adding some Christmas sprinkles and these little glitter foam balls that come from Hobby Lobby. Again, this pie will perfectly match the DIY hot cocos that we did. I will link that video in the description below so you can check that out. You're going to put the toppings on while the spackle is wet so it can stick to it and dry in it. Let your spackle dry, put it back in the pan, and you're ready to go. The final DIY of this video is this cute little snowman family. These can be personalized to have as many snowmen as you want to fit your family. I just love how this turned out. I have this collection of foam balls. I got all of these at the Dollar Tree for $1.25 per pack. I'm going to use the bigger balls for the adults and the smaller balls for the kids. So first I'm going to work on my little daddy snowman. Again, you can make however many daddies, mommies, grandmas, whatever you want. I'm just going to use 3 big large balls for the dad. And now for the mom, I'm going to do 2 large snowballs and then I'm going to add 1 small one. I kind of wanted the mom just to be a little bit different, maybe a little smaller than dad. So I thought the small ball for the head worked out perfect for mom. So now for the baby snowman, I'm just using 2 small foam balls. I had this random red fabric that I just cut into these teeny tiny little strips just to make cute little scarves for our snowman because, you know, they're snowmen. They need to bundle up. It's cold outside. So I just used some hot glue, wrapped it around their necks, and glued them down. I did this for all 3 of my snowmen so they could all match and be bundled up super cute. I took some foam board and I cut just a little random rectangle piece wide enough to fit all 3 of my snowmen, and then I started gluing them on. I started with mom and then I'm going to add dad on one side and the baby on the other, and it's kind of size coordinated from big to little. I thought this turned out super cute this way, but you can order these and line these out however you want. Now I'm going to take some black acrylic paint and a paintbrush and I'm just going to start painting faces. I'm going to start with eyeballs. It's a little hard to paint on this foam, but I just made it work. I also did some little smiles and I did this for all 3 of my snowmen, making eyeballs and smiles. I went in with some orange paint and I decided to paint cute little carrot noses. I just think these definitely tied together the snowman and made them snowman because you can't have a snowman without a little carrot nose. I love how these turned out. Look how stinking cute these are. It would be even cuter if you made little hats. You can make these for big families, small families, and make as many snowmen as you want so it matches your family, so it's completely customizable.
Thank you for watching this video with me. I hope you guys enjoyed these Christmas DIYs. I know I enjoyed making them. I hope you guys try some of these DIYs yourself, make some crafts, have some fun, make some memories, and make yourself some cute little things that you can pull out every Christmas season. And remember, hey, I made that. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe so you can see every time I post a new video, and I will see you next week.